It was a crisp November morning in 2025, the kind where the Washington fog clung to the Potomac like a bad secret, refusing to lift until the sun had no choice but to burn it away. The White House was buzzing, not with the triumphant hum of policy rollouts or victory laps over the midterms, but with the frantic whisper of damage control. At the epicenter of it all was Caroline Leavitt, the 27-year-old press secretary who'd risen from New Hampshire firebrand to Trump's unflinching shield, her sharp blue eyes and sharper tongue making her a viral sensation in her own right. But today, those eyes were wide with something new, raw, unfiltered panic. Leavitt had always been the cool one in the room, the one who could pivot from a reporter's gotcha question to a mic-drop defense of the president with the precision of a surgeon. She'd stared down CNN anchors, eviscerated MSNBC pundits on Fox, and turned Trump's off-the-cuff rants into soundbites that dominated TikTok feeds. Fake news, she'd say with that half-smile, her voice like honey laced with venom, and suddenly the narrative flipped. But this was different. This wasn't a policy slip or a tweet storm gone wrong. This was a video, a 47-second clip that had slithered out of the shadows of the Oval Office and into the viral maw of X, TikTok, and every algorithm-fueled outrage machine on the planet. And it was disturbing. The kind of disturbing that made even the most jaded political junkies pause their scrolls and mutter, "What the hell?" The video had leaked late the night before, time-stamped just 2 days prior during a supposedly routine bilateral meeting with Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban. Trump, ever the showman, had been holding court in the Oval, his signature red tie slightly askew, gesturing wildly as he touted his latest economic wins: inflation tamed, borders fortified, China on the ropes. Orban, with his trademark stoic nod, played the perfect foil, agreeable, unflappable. The cameras rolled for the press pool, capturing the usual pomp: handshakes, flags, the presidential seal gleaming under the chandeliers. But then, something cracked. It started innocently enough. A reporter from the Washington Post, let's call her Elena Vasquez, a rising star known for her dogged Ukraine coverage, piped up from the back row. "Mr. President, with the new affordability index showing a 12% spike in grocery costs since your inauguration, how do you respond to critics who say your tariff wars are hitting American families hardest?" The room tensed. Tariffs were Trump's baby, his economic Excalibur, but the data was brutal. Egg prices up 20%, milk edging towards $6 a gallon. Vasquez's question wasn't a grenade, it was a scalpel, precise and bloodless. Trump's face shifted. The easy grin faded, replaced by that telltale flush, the one that crept up from his collar like a warning light. He leaned into the resolute desk, fingers drumming the wood, eyes darting left, then right. Affordability. That's a fake, disgusting question. Everybody knows it's far less expensive under me than under Sleepy Joe. I fixed it. I fixed everything. His voice cracked on the last word, rising an octave, the words tumbling out faster, overlapping. The reporters in this room, you people, refused to address the inflation I inherited. Worst in history. Disgrace. Witch hunt. The pool erupted in murmurs, cameras clicking like frantic insects. Orban shifted uncomfortably, his English impeccable but his poker face slipping for a split second. And that's when Leavitt entered the frame, or rather, bolted into it. From off-camera, she appeared like a stage cue gone haywire, blonde hair slightly disheveled, heels clicking against the carpet in a rhythm that screamed urgency. "Mr. President," she interjected, her voice steady but her eyes betraying the storm. Wide, pupils dilated, a flicker of something almost maternal. She positioned herself between Trump and the press, one hand subtly on his elbow, the other waving off the mics. "It's unfortunate that the reporters in this room refuse to address the fact that you inherited one of the worst inflation crises in modern American history. Under President Trump, we've seen real wage growth outpace inflation for the first time in years. Let's focus on the wins." But Trump wasn't done. He swatted at the air, his free hand gesturing wildly toward Vasquez. "Fake news. All fake. I don't want to talk about it because it's a lie. A total hoax." His chair scraped back as he half stood, then sat again, the movement jerky, uncoordinated. The video caught it all. The way his left hand trembled slightly as he gripped the desk, the sweat beading on his forehead under the lights, the way his eyes, those famously piercing eyes, seemed to glaze over, searching for an exit that wasn't there. For 17 excruciating seconds, he rambled. Tariffs is, genius, Biden is, the destroyer, Orban is, a great guy, strong leader. But the cadence was off, repetitive, looping, like a scratched record. I fixed it. Fixed everything. Leavitt's intervention escalated. Thank you, everyone. The president has a full schedule with Prime Minister Orban. We'll circle back on details. She herded the press out with polite ferocity, her smile a rictus mask, but the camera lingered on her face as the doors closed. Lips pressed thin, jaw clenched, a single bead of sweat tracing her temple. It was the look of someone who'd just witnessed a car crash in slow motion, and knew she was strapped in beside the driver. By midnight, the clip was everywhere. X lit up first. At a Trapar, the king of unflinching cuts, posted it with the caption, Trump's tariff defense devolves into chaos. Leavitt rushes in like it's a fire drill. Hashtag what did we just watch? Views. 500K in the first hour. Then TikTok, where Gen Z editors sliced it into fever dream montages. Trump's ramble synced to eerie synthwave, Leavitt's entrance time to a horror sting. Pav. Your boss loses it mid-meeting, one caption read, racking up 2 million likes. BuzzFeed ran the headline by 2 a.m. People are grossed out and alarmed by Trump's Oval Office spiral in viral clip. Subhead. Leavitt's panic face is the real star and it's terrifying. The internet did what it does best. Dissected, memed, and doxed. Was it a stroke? Early onset something? The tremor in his hand looped endlessly in GIFs. Trump's got the DTs from all that Diet Coke, quipped one ex-user, sparking a thread of 10K replies. Others zeroed in on Leavitt. She's 27 and carrying the weight of the free world on those shoulders. Girl deserves a raise in therapy. A deepfake AI version surfaced by dawn. Trump's head superimposed on a melting Dolly clock, prompting Leavitt to issue a rare mid-morning statement. The video is deceptively edited by left-wing operatives to undermine President Trump's historic successes. He's never been sharper. But the damage was done. CNN looped it on breakfast shows, pundits from Jake Tapper to Joy Reid parsing every frame. This isn't just a gaffe, Tapper said, his brow furrowed. This is a vulnerability. In a post-Biden world, where age is the third rail, Trump can't afford to look human. Across the aisle, Fox's Sean Hannity thundered about deep state sabotage, but even he couldn't hide the wince when the clip aired. Orban, back in Budapest, issued a bland tweet. Productive talks with President Trump. Strong alliance endures. Translation. I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole. Inside the White House, the war room convened at 6 a.m. Leavitt, on 3 hours of sleep and 2 espressos, paced the briefing room, her phone a buzzing hornet's nest. Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, Trump's steely gatekeeper, leaned against the wall, arms crossed. Damage assessment, Wiles asked, voice like gravel. Leavitt stopped, rubbing her temples. X is at 15 million views. TikTok's exploding. Hashtag Trump spiral trending worldwide. The Post is running a piece on cognitive decline whispers. And that's not even the worst. She pulled up her screen. A screenshot from a whistleblower account, anonymous but verified by Reuters. It claimed the video was unfiltered feed, no edits, captured by a malfunctioning C-SPAN mic. If this is real, we're looking at a 20-point approval dip in battlegrounds. Ohio, Pennsylvania, they're already polling seniors on leadership fitness. Wiles nodded, unfazed. The boss, denying it all, says it's the witch hunt, part 2. But Caroline, she trailed off. Leavitt had been with Trump since the campaign trail, a prodigy plucked from obscurity. She'd defended his Epstein ties, his January 6th rhetoric, even the infamous superstar comment about her figure that had gone viral back in August. A creepy aside caught on hot mic, where's my superstar? Looking sharp today. The internet had recoiled then, too, but she'd spun it as affectionate banter. This felt heavier, like the emperor's new clothes had finally frayed. By noon, Leavitt faced the press corps alone. No Trump buffer, no Orban distraction. The briefing room was packed, air thick with anticipation. She strode to the podium, posture ramrod straight, but her hands gripped the edges a fraction too tight. Good afternoon. Let's address the elephant, or should I say, the edited clip, head on. Laughter rippled, nervous. President Trump is in peak form, delivering on promises Democrats could only dream of. That video, a blatant manipulation by outlets desperate for clicks. We've got the full footage, it's being reviewed for deepfakes. As for affordability, real wages are up 4.2%, groceries stabilized. End of story. Questions flew like shrapnel. Ms. Leavitt, the tremor, medical. Why the rush to end the briefing? As the president fit for a second term, she parried each one, her voice a whip crack. Speculation is the media's opioid. Focus on facts. But midway through, a young reporter from Axios lobbed the grenade. Your reaction in the video, you looked scared. Is there something the American people aren't being told? The room went still. Leavitt's smile faltered, just for a beat, long enough for 1,000 iPhones to capture it. Scared? No. Prepared. That's my job. To protect the president from gotchas like yours. She wrapped it in 5 minutes, but the clip of that moment, the flicker of vulnerability, went viral faster than the original. #Leavitt panic trended, spawning edits. Her face morphed onto Titanic's Rose, screaming, "I'm flying." Over Trump's sinking ship, as the sun dipped low, painting the White House in bloody hues, Leavitt retreated to her office, door clicked shut. She sank into her chair, the weight of the day crashing down. Her phone lit up. A text from Trump. "Great job today, superstar." Fake news. "We'll hit him tomorrow. Dinner at Mar-a-Lago." She stared at it, thumbs hovering. The video played on mute in her mind. The ramble, the tremor, the rush. For the first time, the shield felt thin. Outside, protesters gathered, chants echoing, "Truth now. Truth now." The fog had lifted, but the shadows. They were just getting started. Across town, in a dimly lit Georgetown bar, Elena Vasquez nursed a gin and tonic, her phone pinging with notifications. Her question had ignited a firestorm, but victory tasted bitter. "I didn't want this," she confided to a colleague. "I wanted answers. Not whatever that was." Her colleague raised a glass. "Welcome to the circus, kid. Round 2's tomorrow." And so the story spun on, a tapestry of leaks, lies, and late-night spins. Leavitt would rally, Trump would tweet, the internet would meme. But in the quiet hours, when the algorithms slept, the question lingered. How many cracks before the dam breaks? In Washington, secrets don't die. They go viral, and they take no prisoners. To be continued? The Beltway never sleeps.